Hello, everyone. I'm Sandy Anastasi, psychic channel, intuitive astrologer, and soul coach. And I'm here with my tarot tip number 26. This one's about using the astrological layout to identify people. In my last tarot tip, I showed you how to easily identify a client's pet when using an astrological layout for your reading. As you're well aware, identifying who people are in your client's life is one of the most challenging things for a new tarot reader to learn. Most tarot spreads rely on the reader's intuition to identify the person, or if the reader can give enough insight from the cards surrounding the court card that they're looking at, it's possible that they'll be able to describe the person in question's personality well enough that the client can identify the person themselves, but that doesn't always happen. The astrological layout makes people identification easy, as each person in your client's life occupies a different position in the reading. There's no guessing involved. In my tarot tip number 25, I introduced this concept, and we learned how to identify your client's pet. In this tip, we're going to take a deep dive into virtually everyone else in your client's life. Incidentally, you don't need to know astrology to use the astrological layout. All you need is a circle of 12 cards, and if you know astrology, you can mentally note that each card position is a house. But if you don't know astrology, you'll mentally simply see that circle of 12 cards as positions that are similar to the hands on a clock face, the numbers on a clock face. So using the clock face analogy, 9 o'clock is your first card position. 8 o'clock is your second position. 7 o'clock, the third, and so on, moving counterclockwise around the clock. The most important people in your client's life are usually their significant other if they are married or in a committed relationship, also their mom and dad, and their children. That is, if they have them, and then their friends. Your client's significant other is going to be shown by the card that falls into position number 7. That would be the 7th house in an astrology chart, or the 3 o'clock position on the clock. Their mom would be in position number 4. That would be the 4th house, or the 6 o'clock position. Their dad would be in position number 10. That would be the 10th house, or the 12 o'clock position. Their children would be in position number 5. That would be the 5th house, or the 5 o'clock position. And their friends would fall into position number 11. That's the 11th house, or the 11 o'clock position. Try a few readings using the astrological layout and see how well you're able to identify and describe what's going on with each of these people in your client's life. If you are very visual, like me, you can easily create a blank astrology chart as an aid, or a clock chart, if you want to think of it as that way. Just draw a circle, divide that circle into 12 equal sections, like a pizza sliced 12 ways into 12 pieces, and label them 1 through 12. 1 should be at the 9 o'clock position, and then you're going to move counterclockwise. So 2 would be the 8 o'clock position, and so forth, going counterclockwise around the clock or pizza. When I first learned this technique myself, I always used the circular template labeled with card positions until I really learned them. I even wrote in each pie shape which person lived there. So if you can imagine, I had my circular, my big circle on a piece of paper. Let me just grab one. I'm going to show it to you. Let me get a piece of paper out of my printer right here. And what I'm talking about is making a circle. I hope you can look at this. Okay, so here's the circle, right? And then dividing that circle into 12 sections. What I did is I divided it into quarters, and then I drew lines where each quarter is divided into thirds. So that's what it looks like, okay? And then on that left-hand side at the 9 o'clock position, okay, I'm going to write 9 o'clock so you know what I'm talking about here. That's house number 1. And then they go around counterclockwise all the way around. Very simple, just like that. Okay, so there's your 9 o'clock. Oops, there's on the left side your 9 o'clock position. Okay, I think that's, am I looking right? You know, this is like looking in a mirror and I'm not sure, but I think it's correct. Okay, that should be your 9 o'clock position. And then house 1 or position 1's right below it. Position 2, 3, 4, and completely around until you get to position number 12. So based on this, what I just told you is this is, if we're looking at the people in your client's life, the 4th house is mommy. The 10th house is daddy. The 5th house is the kids. The 11th house are the friends. Simple. Okay, give that a try. And like I said, if you're visual like me, draw your own circle. And you can even lay the cards around it. And in each one of those shapes, you can even write the person who would belong there until you get very familiar with it. This is a super shortcut. And if you're one of those people who's having little trouble figuring out which court card in your reading applies to which person in your client's life, oh my, this is going to be such an enormous help. You'll be so glad that you practiced it. Again, I'm Sandy Anastasi. Visit me online at my website, www.sandyanastasi.com. Find out all about me and learn a whole lot more about the cards. Thanks so much. I'll be back next month with another tip.